Now, I'm going to show you a video on, we've been listening to Bloom's taxonomy. I think almost all the teachers have been talking about it day in and day out, yeah. So I have just curated a video which will enable you to see for yourself how you can take a topic to the highest level and inculcate that higher order thinking level in your students and critically and analyzing any topic. All that we are harping about, talking about, again, this video shows, like yesterday's video was about critical thinking. This video again shows you how you can actually take up some topic and take it to that highest order of creation. And teachers, just for information, the writing skills and the answers which you ask them, the questions which you ask them, also can be taken to the HOTS level where you ask them their own experience. Okay. When a child creates out of his own imagination based on the guidelines given by you, that is what is Bloom's taxonomy. Give them a chance to write, give them a chance to express, give them a chance to make mistakes, accept failure. I'd also spoken about that yesterday. Make your classroom a happy classroom and a safe place to make mistakes. They should know that you will not pull them up, you will not snub them, nobody will make fun of them. It's okay if they make mistakes. And you only encourage them even if they're going wrong, as far as, especially if their grammar is going wrong. We are not perfect. We also make mistakes. Okay. And even if we are perfect, the idea is to make them perfect and better than you. Correct? So I think after parents, teachers are the only people in a child's life who really feel so happy if he progresses and is successful in life. When they come back to us 7 years later, 5 years later, and tell us, ma'am, I'm doing this now in life. Don't we bless them and feel so happy that yes, I've contributed somewhere in his or her progress, in her success, isn't it? I think lots of you will be having, most of you will be having students coming to you, correct? So that's the whole idea. You've made them life ready. Remember that, okay? So this video should enable you to understand the whole idea of the jargon of Bloom's taxonomy when we talk about creating something. Okay, I might stop in between and ask you if you agree or your points on certain topics. So be ready and be little.
Teachers or students can use to classify and organize
1
learning
minute.
objectives. Its most
So this is
popular
about
version is based on the cognitive domain.
this
and
is about
assumes that
Bloom's taxonomy. 1 minute. Helping you decide the learning outcomes. We're going on talking about outcomes and objectives, right? In the lesson plan and otherwise when we go to the class.
So
So this
students
is what
can
it is
use
all
to
about.
classify and organize learning objectives. Its most popular version is based on the cognitive domain and assumes that learning should be structured from easy to difficult in the following 6 steps. 1. Remember. 2. Understand. 3. Apply. 4. Analyze. 5. Evaluate. 6. Create. On the first level, we learn to remember. There is just rote memorization and recollection of facts without much understanding. For example, if we learn about lemons, we want to remember the name, shape, color, size, and that they are sour. Once we memorize these essentially meaningless facts, we move to the second level of learning. On level 2, we learn to understand. We begin to decode information and learn that a lemon is yellow when it's ripe to eat, and if we take a bite, that it's really super sour. We also understand that lemons love sunshine and that they contain lots of vitamin C, which is a great natural antioxidant that keeps us healthy. Now, as we really understand a lemon, we can work with it. On the third level, we apply what we know. We've understood that while lemons are sour, they are also a great provider of vitamin C. To apply this knowledge in a meaningful way, we could boil a lemon into hot water and add some honey. Then serve this hot lemon to our sick sister who's in need of treatment. On the fourth level, we learn to analyze. This involves examining and breaking down information into components, determining how the parts relate to one another, and finding evidence to support generalizations. We study the lemon flesh, examine the skin, and look at levels of vitamins. We conclude that we can eat everything inside, while the skin tastes bitter and contains traces of toxic pesticides. It ought not to be consumed. Now we are ready to evaluate. We analyze, critique.
So when I was playing this video, uh, one of the teachers in some other group some time back asked me, ma'am, but we have lemon pickle, which involves the skin, which is made only of the skin. Okay, and we have a lot of facts, like, doctors are propagating using lemon rind in so many recipes because it's very, very healthy and it is a storehouse of healthy vitamins. Okay, so, and he's saying it is toxic. Okay, did any of you realize that? Yeah. So now what do we answer to that? I said, yes, pesticides are there. Okay. Anything when we need to consume with the skin, any fruit also for that matter, like apple and all, we tend to consume, we tend to eat along with the skin. So now what is the next best method to make sure that none of these pesticides enter our food chain? By dipping it in, keeping it immersed in a solution of salt and a little bit of baking soda. Okay, we can make a solution of salt and baking soda and add water to it and keep anything that needs to be consumed with the skin, like grapes or any other fruit. Okay, and we're good to go. So these kind of questions should come to your mind and you must question, right? There was only one teacher who said this, and when I was doing this video, when I was going through this video, the same question came to my mind as well. Okay, so let's try to analyze.
To evaluate our lemon as a good source of vitamins, we compare it to other sources, such as oranges and supplements. We look at the following properties: vitamin levels, affordability, taste, and packaging waste. If we evaluate our thoughts critically and without bias, we learn where the lemons score high and where others score higher. Now, after
So
we
you can even say that kiwi is even higher as far as vitamin C level goes. They say the fruit kiwi fruit. Have you seen that? Heard of it? Yeah, it's a green color soft fruit. You peel it and have. Nowadays, the studies are saying that kiwi has vitamin C as compared to lemon, like 10 lemons or some count they're given is equivalent to one kiwi. So a lot of thinking can go into this. I'm just taking up this particular topic. So ask your children when you're doing something, do you think or have you heard? You see how much they'll come up with. You understand? That's the whole idea.
have learned, understood, applied, analyzed, and evaluated, we are ready to create. As we now really understand lemons, also in comparison to similar things, we can formulate a plan to create our own natural lemonade. It's now easy to come up with a cute shop design, a good name, and a good slogan: natural, healthy, yummy. Bloom's taxonomy was first created in 1946 by American psychologist Benjamin Bloom. The revised version from 2001, as just presented, serves as the backbone of many teaching philosophies, in particular those that aim towards teaching specific skills. Each level usually comes with a clear learning objective that can be tested. Critics of the taxonomy often question the existence of a sequential, hierarchical link between each level. What are your thoughts? Please share them in the comments below.
He's left you with the question which I'm telling you to ask your children. What are your thoughts? Yes? So what do you think? Anybody? Did it make the entire concept very clear? Yes, about lemons and all the information that you need to gather. Yes. Anybody wants to comment on this?
Yes, we have to make the children to think from the known thing to unknown thing, which are
Known to
new to
unknown. Excellent. Yes.
then it will not go from their mind for the lifetime. So this
Correct.
base thing we can understand from remembrance and then understanding and then apply.
Applying. See, from
Apply.
lemon, he's opened a lemonade shop. Okay, so he's created something from the
Creative, yeah.
information that was given to him. He realized that consuming lemons is a healthy form of, having juice or lemonade, and he's created his own based on the
Sure.
information provided. He's created something on his own, right?
Yes.
Yes. Did
Yes,
it
ma'am.
confuse you more or made things a little clear? Yes. Okay. Did it make things clear? Thumbs up. How many of you feel like that? Yes. How many of you felt that it could have been done in a better way? Or you have some innovative topics? Yes. So you start thinking like that now. Okay. That's the whole idea of educating somebody, to help them to analyze and think, infer the information, remember the facts, understand and apply that information in your life. Whatever we are sharing here from the past 10 days, now you have to take it to the highest level and apply it in your class. That's the whole idea. Yes? Your lemonade shop is your classroom. Did you get the connection now? Yes? So that's the whole idea of Bloom's taxonomy, nothing else. The application leading to creation from the child's perspective. And you opening the mindset and helping the child to assimilate all that you need to tell him, and even more. Ask him to research, ask him to find out, ask him to give you the input to all of
When
them.
they do in real life, suppose if they are doing something in real life, at that time they should think, yes, my teacher told this is the thing. They should be able to correlate the
Yes,
things here.
yes. There are children in
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes.
who are writing blogs and earning 10,000 a month. There are children like that. They're actually writing blogs, and internet has come a long way, and they are sitting at home earning 10,000 a month. I know such children in my own school, and they happened to tell me because they said, "Ma'am, we want to give some money for charity. Please tell us where to do." Then we teach them the idea of gratitude and giving something back to the society. There are children doing that. I'm not talking about parents. He's funding his own education at this age. Can you imagine the level to which they are going? I'm telling you, they are moving at a skyrocketing speed, and we are still moving at the snail's pace, thinking that, no, we can't do this. They're too small. They're not small. Give them the best of exposure, which can happen only when we are well equipped. You understand? That's the reason I'm telling you to fill up your cup to the brim so that you have so much information to pour. Okay? So be that teacher who they want to remember, be outstanding. See, this you're talking about 10 years back or 15 years back. We don't know what is going to happen 15 years later, where the world is going to. So unless you are abreast with the times and relate to their mental faculties, you will be obsolete. Do you understand the meaning of being obsolete in the computer language, in their language? We have to remain young, not biologically. Also, we remain young if we think young. Yes? So, we have to think in those terms now. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So, biologically, we may be 50 or 55 or 25 or 40, whatever. But mentally, we have to be with those children who we are teaching. So, imagine you're always going to be 10 years with 30 years of experience or 20 years of experience or whatever your age is. but your mental level should match with them and take them to the higher level. Fine? So that's the whole idea of being a primary teacher. You always remain young. Yes? Young at heart and young in mind. Never mind how you look. But God will take care. Automatically, you'll remain young only. Yes, I know so many teachers who don't look their age at all. Yes, and that's a battery that they charge with the children. They are battery chargers, isn't it? Yes. So moving forward, I have the PPT, and I also have a video for you. Since we're doing speaking skills, I want you to notice the way the speaker is talking, okay? And I also want you to notice how he's talking to, 1 minute. He's talking to a stranger actually. He's propagating elections, okay? This is Obama propagating, promoting elections, okay? Promoting the next candidate. So notice, I want you to notice a couple of traits while he's talking to a stranger, to a lady, okay? 3, how he connects with her and her family, how he makes her comfortable, his body language, okay? And also his style of talking. He's been the president. He can talk to anybody in any tone. And we expect arrogance from him, right? Being the president, we expect some sort of arrogance and some sort of a condescending tone. But see the way he makes the other people feel so comfortable. That is the beauty of his character. Okay, so notice all this and see how the idea is to understand how to develop a connection with strangers. You will realize how this helps when you're talking to parents, when you have to do a difficult conversation about the behavior of a child, okay, and you have to acquaint them with the idea that he's not, or he or she is not up to the mark. Even then, if you say the whole thing with a smiling face, with a pleasant attitude, the parent won't mind and he will take it positively. Okay, this is a small tip which I try to, as far as possible, exercise. I think I don't recall an incident where I've actually been very angry, or we have to keep our cool. That's the whole idea, okay? Because just notice how he talks to the.
I think
1
we
minute.
should explore a few solutions.
Grammarly's suggestion.
Bloom's taxonomy.
No,
is a
1
toolbar.
second, 1 second. Yeah, 1 minute. So I'm having a difficulty in loading this. Just let me know if you are able to. Okay, let me share it in the full screen. Yeah. Are you able to see? Do you recognize this totality?
Yes, ma'am.
You all recognize? Yeah, it's
Yes, ma'am.
Barack Obama, the former president of the US. Okay, I'll try to make it full screen.
Hi, is this Alyssa?
It is.
Hey, Alyssa, this is Barack Obama. I used to be the president, remember? So,
So see the way he's introducing himself. He's not like, you should be knowing me. Okay, he's humble enough to introduce himself. See the body language, notice all the points which I just told you.
I am doing phone banking for Joe Biden, and you're one of the people I'm calling. How are you doing? Don't, uh-oh, All I want to do is to remind you that election day is Tuesday. And this is going to be a really close election. And I'd love for you to,
You don't worry if you're not able to hear the other speaker. You just listen to him. Okay, her voice is not very clear. It's just her
Yes, ma'am.
expression, nothing much. Okay, so don't concentrate that much on that. See how he's conducting the conversation. Okay.
Okay.
Kamala, and if you don't know your polling location, I can give it to you, and give you any information that you need. Well, that's great. And make sure, are you reaching out to family and friends and all that? Okay, you tell them Barack specifically asked them to please vote. Who's that in the background there? 8 months.
See, he's picked up the sounds in the background and he's asking her who's crying in the background. So he doesn't need to do that. His job is over. He had to tell her that please vote for so-and-so. He's done that. But he's trying to connect her, have a personal connect with the audience. Okay, he doesn't need to do that, remember. So that always helps. Don't invade in their privacy, but there's no harm in having a personal connect with whoever you're speaking to.
Oh, so you got a new guy in the house. Well, he sounds like he is either hungry, needs his diaper changed, or just doesn't like mom giving attention to somebody else.
Can I go into phone call?
Well, that may be it. You know, if you want to put him on the phone, I'm happy to talk to him. Hey, Jags, what's going on, man? Do what your mom says. I would chat for you for quite some time, but when you have 8 months old, you can't be on the phone too long. Bye-bye.
Yes. So what all were you able to capture?
That mom he tries to build personal.
Sorry?
connect-
Sorry? Please speak louder, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, that Barack Obama he tries to establish a personal connect. with
Very
the
good. Yeah.
speaker on the other hand,
Yes.
advising his children with 1 or 2 tips like listen to your mother and all that.
Yes. Okay. So anything else? Anybody else wants to sum it up? Kavita ma'am, you're not audible. Yeah, but it's unmuted, but I don't know. You can put it in the chat, ma'am, no issues. Sometimes there are glitches here, we can't help. Yes. So while Kavita ma'am is putting, anybody else wants to say anything? How did you feel? Was he arrogant? No. Being the president, he has all the powers. Okay. But he was not arrogant at all. He loves his people and he's talking to them in the most friendly way. And it looks as if, does it look as if he's talking to them for the first time? The mother and son? I don't think so. He has this ability to make everybody
Connect with his.
comfortable, yes. Comfortable, humble, excellent, Kavita ma'am. So we should have that humility. That was the word I was looking for. Okay.
Whatever it may be, he handled in a gently manner.
Yeah. So as teachers also, we have a lot of power, like I told you. Yes. So always be humble, kind, connect. Don't have that condescending attitude that, see, some require. 2, 3 of your students will require that also. Okay. Different medicine for each, as a doctor says. You can't give everybody stomach pain medicine if he's got head pain. Okay. But more or less, these general facts, these general attitude issues, get resolved if you resort to a polite, humble, and genuine way of talking. Everybody understands that, right? When you talk from your heart, when you talk from your mind, there is always a difference, right? So we are dealing with very, very, very small children, young minds, innocent souls. So our tone has to be regulated, fine-tuned to their sensibility level. You know, I have now started taking middle school. So the other day when I went to class 1 for substitution, it's just a small incident I'm sharing, okay? I told them to take out their rough notebooks. I wanted to teach them how to make a word puzzle. Like whenever I try, whenever I get substitution, I try to teach something interesting to the children so that, you know, they're engaged for the period and I don't have to keep screaming, keep quiet, keep quiet, keep quiet, you know. Some of them ask me for permission and they want to do their incomplete work or whatever. That's a regular scenario. But some of them who are, you know, always ready to learn, ready to receive, I try to do, you know, some activity with them. So I taught them how to make a word search, you know, made boxes and whatever, made words. So this one boy sitting right in the front tells me, "Ma'am, I don't have a notebook." I said, "Okay." I tried to get some paper from somebody and I gave him. I said, "Ma'am, I don't have a pencil." Okay. And class 1, you can imagine the ruckus, and I don't even teach them. So I lost my cool and I said, "Then why have you come to school?" Typical answer, typical question which a teacher will put. And he started howling. And what will a class 5 child do? "Sorry, ma'am." What will a class 7 child do? "Ma'am, I'll borrow." See the change of attitude. Okay. A class 3 child will probably say, "Okay, ma'am, sorry, I'll get hold of it from somewhere." A class 1 child didn't know what to do because he realized the anger in my tone and he started crying. They are that innocent and that soft, you know. So we have to, you know, like a channel. Divya ma'am will remember channel surfing. I'll try to do that with you tomorrow. Okay. Like how we have to change channels, no, according to our interest. Like that, we have to change our pitch, tone, attitude, way of speaking. The way we speak to a class 1 child, if we start talking to a class 8 child like that, he won't understand that language. There's a different way of talking to those children. Yes. So we have to make sure that we connect with the students at their level. That's the whole idea, okay, of this conversation and of this incident. Fine. So a real joy in the conversation. Yeah, he's enjoying it, which is so important. He doesn't have to do that. Anyway, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris did win. Okay. If he's backing them, definitely they'll win. We are not talking about the political side. We're talking about the way he conducts himself at that level. Being a president, if we can connect, being teachers, definitely we can connect. Yes or no? Yes. So fine tune
Yes, ma'am.
your, fine, yeah, thank you, ma'am. Fine tune your way of talking to the children you're handling, according to the children you're handling. Okay. I'm giving you the difference because some of you might be taking the classes across primary, that is 1 to 8. So you will analyze the difference on your own. Okay. So it's 10:28. I'm quickly going to take you through the PPTs which I have for speaking skills, which again talk more or less about information that you already know. It's just a reinforcement. And then the last 10 to 15 minutes, we'll try to conduct another activity, which is extempore. I've already given you some topics. Kavya ma'am, just paste the topics again, if in case some of you have joined later and they've missed out. Kavya ma'am was the one to type them when I told her to, and she's just putting them up again in the chat. Those who missed it can go through it, and another 15 minutes we'll try to see how many of you can speak. Though it's extempore, which is on the spot, I'm still giving you some time to prepare. I don't want to catch you off guard. Okay. So
Ma'am, I have again pasted it in the chat.
thank you so much. Yeah, because I can't see now. I'm presenting, no, so I won't be able to access the chat. Okay, that's why I told you. Yeah, thank you. So encourage conversation. See, that's the whole idea. That is why I showed you the video before. Okay, always encourage conversation because that's the way they acquire language. Like somebody mentioned, language can't be taught; it has to be caught. using all the senses. Okay, so listening, speaking, reading, writing involves all your senses. Okay, your creativity, your imagination, your guided vocabulary, your guided ideas. So it has to be watched by the child and practiced. Okay, so Revati ma'am, can you please read this slide?
Yes, ma'am. Encourage conversation. Every social interaction gives students a new opportunity to practice language. Some of your students might need a little guidance from you to engage in conversations. So spark interactions whenever you can. Ask questions, rephrase the students' answers, and give prompts that encourage oral conversations to continue.
Okay, so that is very, very important. Even while taking up a prose or poetry lesson also, you can ask them open-ended questions. Okay, I don't know whether we did that when you were doing the prose poetry. You can ask them open-ended questions like what would have happened if this hadn't been done. Okay, those of you who have been following Gul Moher, okay, like Ranji, you remember a rupee goes a long way. So you could ask a child if he struggled with getting something that he likes like this, okay? Or do you think, Ranji was a kind boy? How do we know? How do we know he was a kind and
Because he is ready to share.
ready to share? So that brings about the value, right? So ask them questions like that, okay? No harm. Even if they're not a part of the text, we are all smart enough to ask them questions based on life skills. Remember, life ready. So after acquiring the jalebi, after so much struggle, he was a happy-go-lucky fellow. He said, okay, Koki is looking at it. Let me share with her. So what? That's not the end of the world. I'll get more jalebi next time.
Then
Yes?
also he never wants to give up.
Never wants to give up. So I told these children to go home. Like that is the value and the activity can do. I said, you go back home, okay, and ask your maid servant about the birthday of her children. What does she do? Okay, what does she do? What did she give them? And does she do anything special on that day? Okay, because we make such a big hullabaloo. We are all blessed and pampered on our birthdays. So imagine if your parents right now have everything. Supposing they didn't have so much, and if they were not able to give you so much, would you have still loved them? Ask them these kind of questions to stir their inner conscious, and so that they don't end up in old age homes. Their parents don't end up in old age homes. Okay, so there's always a chance, there's always a moment when you can bring their attention to acquiring positive character traits and strength of character and a conscious kind of a voice inside. Okay, so I asked them, I said, go and ask your maid servants if they do anything special. Most of them came back and said, ma'am, she said, I just buy them one small chocolate. Okay, so I said, can you do something special for those children just once a year? And they all said yes. One boy, actually, he was so sweet, he went and bought a jalebi box and gave it to his maid because he associated the happiness that Ranji got after having the jalebi with the happiness that those children also might get. See the child's sensibility. Okay, so give them these kind of value-based learnings. Don't leave a chance in any chapter. Something is there in each of these chapters, sometimes even more than one value exhibited. Life will throw lemons at you. Again, the lemon topic. You should be smart enough to make lemonade and go on. And not about cribbing that why is life throwing lemons only? I wanted apples, I wanted bananas, I wanted pears, but life is only throwing lemons. So make lemonade and go ahead, march ahead. Life will pose problems. Life will have, things not working the way you want them to. Ranji went with a good intention of buying jalebi with the coin, only coin which he had. Again, only coin. He didn't have any other source of income or money, but he was still happy and he did get what he wanted. After getting it, after so much struggle, he was kind enough to share, like Kavita ma'am rightly pointed out. Yes. So the feeling of gratitude and the feeling of sharing with your peers or with the ones who are not so blessed. Okay, bring about such feelings in them. You never know how much you have changed them as a person and inculcated those values for life. Okay. So just one example. I'll try to give some more examples also as we go along. Okay. So your students may not use complete oral syntax. Syntax is the uh, sentence structure. Okay. Like how a good exercise here will be to give them just 3 sentences in the jumbled way. Okay. So if you give them that and try to ask them to try to make a grammatically correct sentence. You know, sometimes they put I before or they don't punctuate. Tell them to write and read it out in the class. Okay, you can start with the speaking skill, any speaking skill with that. Just have 3 sentences. If you haven't gone prepared, also pick up their book and pick up any 3 sentences, quickly jumble them. The idea is to make sure that if there are 8 words in the sentence, the 8 words are there in the jumble sentence also. Sometimes when you're making that, we miss out on some words. Okay, so that's one tip that I would like to share with you. I tried it and I learned it the hard way. So that's why I'm sharing that with you. Always count the number of words and see the tally in both the sentences. Okay. So that's one thing. So teach them how to, decode that syntax. Start with just 3 to 4 words, and then as they go to higher classes or higher, like if you're taking class 1 and 3, class 1 will only have 3 words maybe. Was reading I, am reading I. So automatically the idea of tenses also comes. Try to do that for every grammar topic also you can do. Give them just, 3 words in class 1, maybe 4 in class 2, 5 in class 3, gradually start increasing their level. Start with 3 words only. First sentence, 3 words, second sentence, 4 words, third sentence, 5 words. Give them that easy, medium, difficult range. Some of them might not be able to do the third level. Help them with it, doesn't matter. They will eventually understand. Bring out all the concepts which you want to teach them, like, my friend and I, not I and my friend. Okay, my friend and we went together. So, bring those grammar concepts together of pronouns, of gap filling way, in syntax way. That helps a lot in acquiring language acquisitions. Okay, so try to correct them, but don't snub them. There's a lot of difference. Okay, sometimes we talk to them in that way that, oh, you don't even know that much. We all do, even I've done, but I've got over it now after I've started training, because I realize there's much more to teaching than just going to the classroom and delivering. So say, doesn't matter, we all make mistakes. Okay, and speak in the third way is to pick up error correction. Have you heard of the concept error correction? Yeah. So write some wrong words on the some wrong sentences on the board. Again, pick up a grammar structure which you would like to reinforce. If it's prepositions, so you can write the car was going from the bridge. Okay, and give them a choice of under or over. Okay, bring those kind of concepts together. Yeah, it could be going under the bridge also. The bridge may be overhead, whatever. That's the child's imagination. Okay, the boat is definitely going under the bridge. Boat can't be flying over the bridge. Okay, so based on facts, you can give them any grammar concept in error correction format. Okay, that really helps them. I am going to the museum yesterday. Yeah, some children make that mistake. Correct? So give them those kind of, pick up from their language and even otherwise, which you feel is not too complicated. And there should be only one error in one sentence. Okay, don't load the sentence with too many errors and confuse the child. Sometimes we tend to do that. Okay, pick up one error in the beginning. You can even underline the error and ask them what should come here. You understand? So that will really help you go the reverse way. And then the second level, Bloom's taxonomy creation asks some of the children to frame their own error corrections and come. You'll be surprised to see how they pick up language like that. Okay, because they know where they are faltering. So that really helps them. Okay, so oral skills and language acquisition can be brought about in this way. Okay, so all this leads to writing, developing the writing skills. Okay, suddenly we can't go on with writing and jump to writing without doing listening, speaking, and reading. Fine. So speaking is by far, I feel, the most important way, because they need to listen and then speak out whatever they've learned. Okay. So can I go to the next slide? Got this one? Okay. Speaking skills. Okay. Why is it important? It's one of the most important skills, both for social and academic success. Tomorrow, again, I said life ready. They're going to be loaded with interviews, with group discussions, with communication going on between their friends and their teachers and their parents and strangers. So some of these activities which you can, if you want, write down is speaking about a recipe. Let them speak and then write. Okay, their favorite recipe. Most of us on the same page love to make a sandwich. They know sandwich recipe very well. Even a class 1 child will tell you, take bread, put some butter, put some slices of cucumber or tomato. Tell them, let them talk orally. Okay, and then put it. Then you ask them about their favorite dish. Next level. Start with the sandwich. I think everybody will know. Okay, 90%. Even if it's bread and jam, it's fine. Okay, let the child come out. And then talk to them about their favorite dish. 90% say paneer butter masala. Okay, tell them, ask their parents to tell them how to make it. Or some of them know already, you know that. Even at class 3 level, some of them know how to make it. Okay, second level. Same topic, ask them to find out what is their mother's favorite dish. If it's something that they can cook without fire, ask them to do it and surprise their mother on a Sunday morning. So develop these kind of connects between them. Okay. And the parents will come and thank you and tell you, ma'am, what magic did you do? My child has become like this. Okay. So help them establish a connect between, see, we are helping those mothers because they are working, they're struggling. So when you establish this kind of a connect between the mother and child, you see a major development in the child's emotional quotient. You understand? Because when he gets appreciation and positive vibes from the parents, it goes a long way in his confidence level. It improves his confidence level a lot. Okay. Understand the society where parents also struggling and mothers are really not able to give enough time, even if they want to. So this kind of a connect, helps them establish, because you will see, if you look into this, a lot of parents are, not the way we were brought up. They don't belong to that generation. We ourselves are working, right? So if a child does this on a Sunday morning, gets up a little early and makes something that we like, won't we like it as mothers? We'd love it, So give them those side of ideas, okay? Where they feel very happy, and then they will be, so excited to share their experience on Monday morning when they come to you. Your speaking skill is done. Okay. So do it in a playway way in where you are incorporating so many more traits, value-based, loving your parents, gratitude, okay, giving them back. Then a skill, he can make his own breakfast when he goes to the hostel tomorrow, right? So please look into multiple facets when you're developing their personalities, okay? So teach concept words. This is again very theoretical, okay? Because some of them have this comfort level of putting and after every sentence, or then the sequence follows, then this happened, we did this. They don't know how to deviate because they feel that that's the only way they know. So help them. You can write these words when you're conducting any speaking activity and tell them before, after, following, or after that, since, Give them those connecting words so that their sequencing sounds better, you know. So that's about it for this. Okay, and then don't worry too much about the tense unless the incident has already happened. Then you tell them it's past tense. Like for writing skills, for diary entry, we always use past tense because it narrates about an incident which has already happened. Okay, and story also 90% we use past tense unless they want to pick in. Don't encourage, direct speech when they're writing stories and all because they're not able to move away from that change in tense and they muck up the whole story. So tell them to write in one flow in past tense. Okay. So repeat, it's okay. There's no harm in reinforcing what you have taught them in one class. When they're doing the second writing skill or speaking skill, tell them again. In 1 year, if you conduct 3 or 4 writing skills and reading skills and speaking skills, 4 are 16. In 1 year, we can do that, right? At least the month right after the exams, you can utilize 1 day in a week and conduct your skills. Okay. I understand we are pressed for time and sometimes before the exams we are too much in a rush to finish the syllabus and revise. Okay. So right after the exams is the best time to receive all these activities. You're also a little free while your corrections are going on. You don't need to really give notes and do the usual monotonous work. So when you indulge in these, you also feel refreshed, and they also enjoy doing this. They're also mentally free. Okay, so that's a very good time to enhance these skills. Okay, then since it's speaking, remind them to speak loudly and articulate. And teachers here, you could also give them some words pertaining to the topics you've given so that they find it easier. And even if they learn those 3 to 4 new words while they're speaking, next time you'll remember. Okay, so automatically you've enhanced their vocabulary as well. Tell them the ones who write these words in their writing skills in the exams or otherwise, I'm going to give a star and do that. When you notice them using vocabulary, something that you haven't taught them, but they've picked up, put a star and smiling face, they love it. And that encourages them to, be generous with your comments, positive comments, and with your, appreciation. We all love it, isn't it? That's human trait. Even the ones who you feel are weak, find something good in their, uh, character traits and appreciate in front of the whole class. Like there's one boy who was not so good in studies, but whenever something fell down or I needed something, like if I'm just about to pick up the duster, ma'am, wait, I will give you. Ma'am, wait, I will do this. So I appreciated him. I said, he's always so helpful and so forthcoming and always ready to, take up any responsibility, distributing books, collecting books, or, if I tell him something, he feels very responsible. And that adds on to their knowledge. Automatically, when you create that interest and you tell them that you're not pulling them up for getting low marks, but you would love to see them, getting higher than what they scored last time, they work towards it. So motivate and encourage them wherever possible. Okay. And question to boost comprehension. So, Savya ma'am, would you like to read this slide?
Ma'am, it's not clear here. Questions to boost comprehension.
Correct, correct. Yeah.
But it is
You're
not
able
clear.
to, it's not clear.
No.
You're not able to see this.
I can see it, ma'am, but the words, they are
Words are a
like,
little small. Okay. The
Yeah,
font is maybe a little small. I'll read it now.
Shall I read?
Shall I read?
Read, ma'am. Read, Kavita ma'am. If you're able to see it, read. Otherwise, that's
Yeah, question to boost comprehension. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, carry on.
Asking questions before and after a reading assignment not only helps sharpen oral language skills, it also helps students think about what they are reading and observe information from the words. You might try the following strategies to facilitate reading comprehension. If there is an introduction to the story or passage, ask students to read it and answer purpose-setting questions. Where does the story begin? What kind of story or article is this? Why do you think so? Ask students to predict outcomes. What will happen? How do you know? After the reading, ask students to reveal whether their predictions were correct and identify where the ending or conclusion begins. Have students summarize the passage. Who were Who were the characters? What was the plot? What was the outcome? What was the main idea? What were the supporting details?
Okay, cause and consequences. What happened? How did it lead to this? Ask them very short questions. Summarizing is the only bit which you can ask some child who's really, who's capable of understanding and who's understood very well. But to the rest of the class, and we all have such a group, okay, where one or two will be, thinking out of the box even better than we can. Okay. So, but the majority of the class needs that reinforcement after you've conducted any skill, okay, or you taught any chapter. So ask them very short, one word or maybe one sentence answers to what you have taught. That establishes a learning, a sort of a revision, and you also know that you have put your point across successfully. The ones who have been daydreaming or not picked up something also get to listen and understand what you've been taking. So speaking, see, all the four skills are connected. So this skill could be tried to boost oral comprehension. That's what it is all about. So this very important question, what do you think, should become your mantra, okay? Ask them, encourage them, and please urge them to start thinking. Okay? That's the only way you can establish a connect between them and the education which you're trying to impart. Okay? So this is a very generic part to engage in eye contact. I'm sure most of us do that. Just a reinforcement, okay? We have to make sure that we are audible, okay? We adjust our language. Now, what do you mean by that? We cannot talk about high flown English words just because we know them in a class, in front of a class 2 child or in front of a class 2 level. Whereas if we pick up new words along the way and use them in higher classes, will be appreciated for that. But a class 2 child might not connect to the words which you are talking to them about. But there is no harm in putting it up on the board. If there's some word which you feel they need to know related to the topic, you put it up. Like I told you, they are ready to receive. But if you use it and expect them to know the answer, that is wrong, isn't it? So we can enhance the vocabulary at their level of words which you feel they should be knowing pertaining to the topic, or give them help words while conducting a skill. Okay. Like if you're doing a conversation, a role play is the best way to, get them all engaged. So if you're doing like a role play, tell them to pick up a play and, an act in a group. Give them the lunch break to form their groups and, talk about the topic. So when they present, appreciate and tell them, okay, you could have used this word instead of this word. Just slowly bring in vocabulary also in between in all the skills. Okay. So communicate. See, the idea is that your point should be put across reasonably well for even an average child to understand. So for the higher order, you can put up some words like I told you. They will pick up. Okay. Or next time when they hear this word, that particular word, they'll know that ma'am, I use it in this context. So let me also put it like that. Okay.